As you know, maritime areas are very strategic for all our countries because it is key for our prosperity. And so when you see the strategic context today, we have multiple crises. And so the CSG, the Carrier Strike Group, is an option provider to our political leaders. Carrier Strike Group are able to make different type of mission: intelligence, air and maritime superiority, strike, projection of power, and he is able also to do from the tactical level up to the strategic level, so you can address a strategic message to a competitor. You can move quickly from an area to another one, so it's very efficient of rebalancing the effort at the political level. So Carrier Strike Group is a kind of response to the strategic context today. But the second thing is that the Carrier Strike Group is also coalition builder. I mean, you are able to aggregate all partners like we are today. And so it makes us more stronger together. It makes us more able to respond to multiple crises in the world. And so it's a good tool today to respond that problem. And I have to say, at the end, the Conférence Navale de Paris is the good opportunity to share what we are thinking about that, to share our different ideas, and to try to find solutions facing the context we are facing right now.
Well, thank you very much for the question, and thanks for having this really amazing conference so we can talk a lot about carrier strike groups. You know, since the USS Langley was commissioned 100 years ago, our carrier strike groups have deterred potential adversaries, they've responded in crisis, they've provided a lot of options to our decision makers, and of course they bring lethal, decisive, credible combat power every day. I think the most interesting thing about the carrier strike groups over their history and looking towards the next 100 years of carrier strike groups is that they're flexible, adaptable, and they are ready to respond to adapting new technologies. I think if you look at the Nimitz class and then the Ford class, the opportunities that they provide with power, space, weight, we're looking forward to the air wing of the future, to integrating some unmanned capabilities. And again, I think the most important thing is their maneuverability and flexibility. They can create 2,900 square miles of uncertainty in a single hour. So when you think about that, and you think about all of our carrier strike groups working together, it's not just the carrier, but it's the embarked air wings, the destroyer squadrons, the cruisers. Again, they have a power to convene where we can send a strong message of deterrence and we can deliver combat credible power whenever, wherever we need to.
So I think the thing that will stay the same alongside my fellow naval chiefs is securing freedom of passage on the high seas for those who go about their lawful business. And that has been part of the role, a key part of the role for the Royal Navy since our foundation in the days of Henry VIII. So that is a consistency that goes all the way through. The change that we're embracing, and at the moment we're going through the biggest period of shipbuilding that we've seen since the end of the Second World War, is to really move from a Navy that was designed in an analog era of the 20th century to a digital Navy in the 21st century, embracing all the domains from the seabed to space, and changing our workforce construct to both bring in the range of skill sets that we're going to need in the future to deliver this, but also to provide a sort of an environment where young men and women want to come and work and stay for us. And that is a period of a series of transformations that we're doing concurrently, and the biggest challenge is we're doing it whilst the world is getting more uncertain. So we've got a great purpose, that hasn't changed. We've got a series of challenges that we embrace, but we've also somehow got to map that into a transformation program being done in great tension. Now, arguably, that is driving a period of huge invention. And that's fantastic and it's very exciting, but it also drives for us a pace of energy and development that I don't think we can quite forecast where the landing point of that will be because of the questions that are being continually posed to us by the external world. What I do know is that we will only do it in partnership. Even the American Navy, the world's largest, most powerful Navy today, can't do it alone, as Admiral Lisa has said on a number of occasions. And the partnership, the sharing of ideas, the way that we think of working together to confront the challenges we have gives me great confidence that actually we can overcome what sits in front of us today.
Thank you very much for the question. And the Carrier Strike Group is the most versatile and flexible tool to project power and influence on a global scale, and it offers to the political decision maker a wide range of options of intervention. It today is also fundamental to control the sea and to keep the sea line of communication open. It's an instrument of reassurance to the allies and deterrence to the enemy. So the acquisition for Italy of the 5th generation aircraft, it's a step grow in the Italian defense capabilities. We will reach IOC, so the initial operating capability, during our deployment in the Indo-Pacific area, and this will be really an important step. This will allow us to work more and more with our allies. This will allow us to be more interoperable and interchangeable with our allies and to intervene wherever is needed anytime.
Thank you for the question, and at the outset let me thank you for the opportunity for me to participate here in this very important conference. As regards the VIKRANT, the VIKRANT was commissioned in September of 21 and was thereafter put through a series of rigorous routines to ensure her earliest operationalization, which was achieved in November of 23. What is significant is not just the fact that it is operationalized, but the way we went about it and the timelines within which it was achieved. We also had the testing of the LCA Navy, which is an indigenous prototype that is being developed, which led to very valuable data points for the development of the actual twin-based, deck-based fighter that we are looking at to operate from the VIKRANT in years to come. We also have very significantly mapped out the operational envelopes for all the carrier-based aircraft that we're going to be operating, including the support requirements. Having said that, the operationalization process is an ongoing process, and the consolidation process will continue. Along with it, we'll also continue the plans to expand the carrier wing with the impending induction of the Rafales, and we look forward to the early induction of the Rafales for that aspect. Having said that, I think in terms of strategic implications, I would like just to count a few of them. First and foremost, I think VIKRANT demonstrates our significant indigenous shipbuilding capability. The ship was designed by the Indian Navy, Warship Design Bureau of the Indian Navy, and was built in the Cochin shipyard. And that also, the operationalization of the carrier itself gives us plenty of lessons towards indigenous construction and development of future carriers in the Navy. The second aspect is that it's also a demonstration of how we were able to integrate diversity of systems, whether it's weapons and sensors, whether it's the aviation suite, or everything else that is there on board the carrier. And they were all integrated into the indigenous combat management suite that we've got developed. So that is another significant capability. Third is, of course, the Indian Navy has always envisaged the requirement of at least 2 operational carriers to be able to carry out its mandated tasks of safeguarding and promoting its national maritime interests. And the operationalization of VIKRANT, therefore, is a significant step which brings us closer to that goal. It also gives us the ability to project power and particularly persistent air defense across a wider swath in our primary areas of interest. And that is a significant capability that we acquired with the operationalization of the VIKRANT. Of course, the VIKRANT also enhances our ability to our ability for cooperation and collaboration with our partners, friendly navies, enabled to provide the ability to safeguard global maritime interests, and also ensure that there is a rule-based order that is in place and keep the sea lanes, particularly in the Indo-Pacific, safe, secure and inclusive.